Council. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Councilmember Rosso, and members of the council. I have probably three things that we took from our meeting last night. People told us that they wanted us operating with grace. People reminded us we were operating in a pandemic, and people reminded us that we were operating under certain assumptions. I want to take the time to lift up a few quotes from our meeting. Parents told us that they don't think the answer to relieving the stress of distance learning, and there is a lot of stress with distance learning, is sending kids back to school early. They're really concerned about increasing the risk of COVID exposure, but instead of sending kids back to school without the appropriate health measures, they would like more support to navigate learning at home. They want food security. They want possibly any supports around money for instructional support. They want relief from unrealistic attendance and academic standards. I will say that overall, they really emphasize a holistic approach and supports. We heard from a mom whose 4-year-old was starting to face depression because she's homebound. We heard from parents who were hiring tutors, babysitters, started calling them education support staff, who just wondered, was there some type of relief that could be provided? We heard from a mom who said she just decided to homeschool because the stress was just too much of navigating 5 kids ranging kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. I think it's also important to know that the last numbers we heard, there were about 10 to 11,000 kids who were not enrolled. We hope many of them are homeschooling, but it's scary that we don't know. And so we hope that we can provide more schools with resources to build the relationships and reach out to families to figure out where they are and what their situations are. Additionally, we heard from a teacher who highlighted the fact that there was a nurse in their building with COVID-19, and there was no plan to let people know, which is super scary. She said she found out from her assistant principal when she ran into that person in the hallway. We also were joined by your colleague, Robert White, Councilmember Robert White, who expressed that he had asked many questions to the mayor, like I know our Councilmember Ward 7 has as well, and they had not received an adequate response. He did encourage us to lift up voices, which is why I shared some of what we heard last night. But then there was also the challenge from our members as far as if parents are really doing like 3, 4, and 5 jobs, being a parent and a teacher, how can they lobby the mayor as a 3rd or 4th job as well? So I thank you for your time, and don't mute me. I still have PTSD from last time.